The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Thursday episode of Running Ppint on ysnlive.com. As always, we are brought to you by our good friends up in that top right corner of the screen, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, and we're constantly thanking Greenwood Chevrolet for their sponsorship of not just this show, but YSN in general. So we thank them today, and we continue to follow their lead, go the extra mile. We got a good one for you today. Of course, we're going to recap the action that happened last night. Some disappointing scores, some great scores. We got championships completely set. So we'll go over who's in and who's out of championship games. District championships start tonight for divisions 1 and 4 in volleyball, and then they go into Saturday for divisions 2 and 3. And then we also have 2-player profiles that we're going to feature today, pre-recorded. We're going to have one with Middle Ridge Libero coming off of their win last night, Cheryl Bonilla. And then we also have one with Amber Watson from Archbishop Hoban, who is preparing for a district championship tonight against Avon. So those will be fun interviews to share with you guys, and we can't wait for everyone to hear them. But first, let's recap the night that was last night and pop into the scoreboard on ysnlive.com. This scoreboard is brought to you and presented by Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. The YSN scoreboard is a great tool for our fans. Whether you're watching one of our broadcasts or you're at a game in person, you don't want to stare at your screen for too long. The YSN scoreboard is a quick, easy way to find live updated scores. It's live updated, so you don't have to wait for the finals to come in at midnight. You just go on and you say, hey, Gerard and Aurora are tied to set apiece. They obviously were until Aurora won. You can see that score there, just for example. So make sure to utilize this tool, and it is brought to you by Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. Let's get into it. Crestview, they're into the district championship yet again. They beat Dalton 3-0. This was kind of a tough test for Crestview. Dalton was pushing them a little bit more than most teams do, but the Rebels were able to win those close sets, especially the second set that went 25-22. Grace Howard, another triple-double, no shocker there for her, and Crestview rolls on to the district championship game like everybody expected them to. Campbell Memorial, they ran into the number 1 team in the state and ranked in the top 25 in the country, and Mineral Lake Catholic. And Catholic won in 3 sets there. West Branch falls to Kinston in a sweep 3-0. And since I figured out that we can just, oh man, it happened. It worked yesterday. All right, we can just scroll over with the arrow keys on the keyboard. Took me till the end of the season to figure that out. Marlington beat Edgewood 3-0. Now let's scroll right back over. Middle Ridge, they take care of Columbiana. We thought this game would be competitive, but Middle Ridge had other suggestions, and they were really focused. And I think once they had that slightly off game against South Range. They probably had a couple of really tough practices. If I know anything about Coach Lesko, he pointed out every little detail about what went wrong in that South Range win. So Middle Ridge was a locked-in team here in the district semis, and they get the sweep over Columbiana. 3-0 is the final there. Also, congratulations to Middle Ridge's Faith Schneider, who got her 1,000th career dig last night. It's another milestone for her. And also, something to watch. It is coming down to the wire with Samantha Allett in this assist record at Middle Ridge, held by her older sister Danielle. We've been following this story all season. We had her on the player profile. We have found her. We got her 2,000th dig on the network, or 2,000th assist on the network. She's been chasing it. She is 26 assists away from tying, 27 assists away from breaking that record. So, she had 42 against Columbiana. So you got to think, like, we're coming down to the nitty gritty. Can she get 27 assists in one matchup against a very, very good Minter Lake Catholic team? Oh, talk about anticipation. Like I said, coming down to the wire, that's exciting. We'll see if Samantha Allett can break that record in the last game of districts. It all comes down to that. Middle Ridge versus Minter Lake Catholic at Grand Valley High School on Saturday, 7 o'clock. Girard falls 3-1 to Aurora. The G-men get revenge on Girard, who won this matchup in the same round last year. And for the first time in 3 seasons, Girard is unable to make it to the district championship match. Want to congratulate their seniors on a great season and a great career. But we know Girard's also bringing quite a bit of firepower back next year, and we can't wait to see what they have in store. Jefferson beats old NE8 rival Hubbard, and they won 3-1 to lock in their ticket to the district championship game. They're going to play Marlington on Saturday. That'll be a good one there between the Falcons and the Dukes. And then Kirtland. Hornets. Who else in the Ysn Nation is sick of Kirtland? No, we have all the respect in the world for Kirtland. We make some jokes, but if they're ever interested in being a Ysn school, we would love to have them for sure. They were a very good volleyball team. They beat Lakeview in 3-0, 3 sets. All of them were competitive. All of them were close. 25-21, 25-21, 25-20 were the set scores. Watching the highlights that Ty Bartel wonderfully put up on our social media, you could see both teams were just playing lights out, really. The defenses in those clips were amazing on both sides, very scrappy. Kirtland knows how to keep that ball in the air. It's really hard to put a ball down on their defense. And they came through in the end of the sets. They were down 10-5 in set 3. Made a comeback, tied to 13. Little things like that. Kirtland was just not going to be able to go away, and Lakeview could not get the win. But the good news for the Bulldogs is no seniors on that roster. So everybody is coming back next year. So they can relock and reload and try to make another run of that district championship that has eluded them for so many years next season. We had one boys soccer playoff game on last night. Archbishop Hoban falls to Hudson and ends their season with a 3-0 loss to the Explorers. So Hudson falls a little bit short in D1 soccer. And that's kind of it for district semifinals. We are officially in district championship mode. So here are the teams that are remaining in volleyball for district championship games. You have Hoban in Division 1. D2, you have Jefferson. You have East Liverpool. You have Beaver Local. They're all still alive in that. In Division 3, you have Crestview and Middle Ridge still alive in districts. And in D4, you have Western Reserve, McDonald, and Wellsville. Of course, Western Reserve and McDonald playing each other tonight. We'll come back towards the end of the show and talk to you about that and the district championships that are going on tonight in Division 1 and 4. But season's winding down, and we have a handful of teams left. So, going to be a fun time as we see who can punch their tickets to the regionals, which would take place, of course, next week. Wednesday. Most regionals are on Wednesday. And then the regional championship games would be on that Saturday, November 4th. We're going to take a quick break as we just got done recapping the week from last night. On the other end of the break, you know what? No, I have made an executive decision. Let's play a player profile, then take a break, and then come back with a second player profile. How about that? All right, let's hear from Cheryl Bonilla from Middle Ridge, their libero. A great interview with her as Middle Ridge got the win last night to punch the ticket to the district championship game. So here is Middle Ridge libero Cheryl Bonilla. Anthony Hartwig here with a Middle Ridge volleyball player profile. I'm joined by the Rams senior libero and Cheryl Bonilla. Cheryl, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. We said it's senior year. My first question for most seniors is, what has it been like going through this season and trying to deal with all the emotions that senior year brings? You know, it's your last home games, last first games, all the lasts that this year brings. What's it been like going through all the emotions of senior year?
I mean, like you said, there's a lot of emotions, but I feel like my teammates just helped me get through it. Like since we're so tight, I feel like we just all like go together, and like that just helps us,
Yeah, you guys, for seniors, you've been playing together, and you have this bond that's kind of unbreakable. What's it been like to go through this year with the great seniors that are on this Middle Ridge team?
I mean, yeah, I feel like our senior group, we're so tight. We have like so many bonding moments. Like in the locker room, we're always getting hyped up together. Like we're so tight. Like we're so, I don't know. We're like it's a really good team. I don't know.
This year, you have stepped on and made a huge impact. I mean, you look at last year to this year, the numbers have gone way up. What did you do this year to have so much success?
I mean, last year I didn't really play, so I didn't really have like a lot of
Mm.
time on the court. But I just do what Coach Lesko tells me to do. I mean, Coach Lesko, he'll be like, dip your shoulder, and I'll be like, okay. And I'll like next play, I'll just try to dip my shoulder. Like Coach Lesko just helps me. I don't know.
He's a great coach for sure. One of the things I want to know, because I know you give him a lot of credit, what part of your game do you think he's helped you improve the most?
I feel like serve receive definitely. I've been struggling with serve receive recently, and in practice we just like been focusing more on it. And he just tells us like what we're doing wrong, what we need to do better.
Serve receive might be something that you have struggled with in the past, but serving is definitely not. You're one of the best servers on the team, and you're always getting teams out of system. What's that like for you to keep the aggressiveness in your serve, and what makes your serve so successful?
I mean, I love getting aces. I feel like getting an ace is the best feeling ever. I mean, like I don't get to hit, so like serving would be like me hitting. So that's why I like get so hyped up every single time we get an ace.
You know, what's your serve like? How have you developed your serve? You know, everyone kind of has their own routine and does their own thing. How have you developed your particular serve?
I feel like finding my routine. I feel like throughout the years I've had different like routines of serving, and recently I think I found like the one that's the one. Like I do this and this gets me the A's.
What is that routine? Take us through it for everybody.
Um, I like go back and I hold the ball with my right arm, and then I look at Coach Lesko. He gives me where to serve. I bounce the ball 3 times. I like square up to the court. I spin the ball and then toss.
Yeah, there you go. You're a libero, and liberos do a lot of behind the scenes work. They don't get all the credit, and a lot of people don't even know what a libero is. If you tell them, she's a libero, they're like, I don't know what she's wearing a different color jersey. What's it like to do a lot of the work that's under the radar, the work that your teammates obviously know is important, but it's the quote unquote dirty work. What's that like for you to be able to do all that for your team?
I mean, I like getting the like hard balls. When someone hits at me and I get that good dig, and then Sam sets the ball, Ava, Faith, Gianna, like one of our hitters, they just swing it away and we get the kill. I just like, yes, I got that dig. Sam did her job, the hitter did her job. We're all good. We got the point. We're winning.
When you think of getting that dig, I know you already said the aces were the best feeling, but take us through the feeling of you have a lot of big hitters that you go up against, so getting that really big dig on a really strong hit that I'm sure the other team thinks is going to be a kill.
I mean, I hope I like every single time I see the ball, I go for it. Like even if I'm not like 100% sure I'm gonna get it. I always try and go run and get the ball. Like it's my job, so like I don't have anything else to do. So getting a dig is like, okay, I did my job. Now it's their turn to do their job.
You have that drive that you're going to go for every ball. You're going to put your body on the line if you have to. I've seen you dive into the bench. I've seen you put your body on the floor. What gives you that drive, that sense of I'm going to get the ball no matter what it takes?
I feel it's an instinct in a way. Like my uncle, he one day he told me, he was like, even if you don't know you're gonna get the ball, just dive. Maybe you will. So just dive and go for it.
You've developed so much since your freshman year back at McDonald, and one of the questions I have to ask you is this: what's it been like going through 4 years of high school and seeing yourself get better every single year?
I feel like there's always room for improvement. Like I feel like right now I can get better. I mean, every day I can get better. So I feel like that's my mentality in like my whole 4 years, getting
When
better.
when you think about yourself as a freshman and you reflect on freshman cheerleaders, what are some big differences between you then and you now?
You mean volleyball wise?
Yeah, volleyball wise, personal wise, like how have you grown since freshman year?
I feel like definitely moving in the court. I feel like usually in my freshman year, I would like stick my feet to the floor and not move, and I would see like the ball go by me and like not react. Now I definitely react. I definitely go for it if I can.
We've talked about senior year and all the emotions that senior year can bring. Senior night puts those all right in your face, right? It's the night that everyone honors you. What was that like for you to see this Middle Ridge community kind of be able to get behind you and give you that night that says, "Hey, we appreciate what you've done for this team"?
I mean, it was great. I got so close with everybody in just like a short amount of time. Was like crazy. I was like I got close with them in 2 years, and to see how much like they care for me and they care for like everybody else, it's just great.
I know it's going to be hard to graduate and leave this program. What are going to be some of your favorite memories you have with this team when you do have to say goodbye?
I mean, definitely my favorite memory is this season, like off season in the summer when we go to Cincinnati and we go to Toledo. We stay in the hotel room together, like, and we just laugh all the time and we have like good talks. It's just great. I feel like that's my best memory.
Let's talk a little bit more about that summer, because not only did you guys have that team bonding experience, but you played really good volleyball down there in Cincinnati. What did that do for your season and in getting prepared for obviously the tough schedule that you guys put together for the year?
Um, I feel like the off season definitely prepared us for regular season. We played so many hard teams. Like they were tough, they were big. We're kind of small. Um, but we played good. We pushed through. I think we won most of them. So we played really good, and that really prepared us for regular season and maybe a little bit of tournament season.
You have played and competed with the best teams in the area. I mean, you've the only team that has taken a set from Crestview. You beat Fitch, you beat Lakeview. Um, this schedule is ridiculous. What do you think it has done for you to see so many good teams and be ready for this tournament?
Yeah, I feel like Coach Lesko always puts a hard schedule for us, but I feel like I kind of like it because I don't want to be playing like I don't want to say easy teams, but like not as hard. So working hard and like just having that adrenaline go, like it's not the same when you play like a not as competitive team and you're just like standing there waiting for the ball to come at you. As like in a hard team, you just gotta go. You're running all the time. You say, "Oh God, my God, like I have to serve. I need to get this. It's game point."
You've obviously had a tough schedule. I'm going to ask, who were some of the hardest players that you had to dig as a defender?
Um, I would say Crestview was definitely like one of them. When Abby was hitting, I feel like I would close my eyes a little bit on that one. Like I saw a ball coming at me, I just put my hands up and close my eyes and hope for the best.
Close your eyes, say a quick prayer, hope you get it.
Yeah.
You play a lot of club volleyball too, and we get told by your club coaches and the people that run that club that how good you are. What does off season volleyball do for you growing as a player, playing in JO?
I mean, playing outside of school, it's definitely like really good. I feel like I can get better, and like every single opportunity that I have to get better, I'm gonna take it. So playing club volleyball has definitely helped me a lot too, because I stay active and I just like keep going and keep working and to get better.
All right, I know liberos don't swing too much. Have you ever tried to get in Coach Lesko's ear and have him set you out of the back row and give you that chance to get a ball over? I mean, you have one kill this year, so it's happened once. You ever try to get set back there?
Yep, I've definitely at practice we do hidden lines. I just try. I'm like, Coach Lesko, put me up there. Coach Lesko, let me hit. Coach Lesko, let me block.
Oh man, I love it.
He always says he's
What
always like, only if you were like a couple inches taller could you get up there. I was like, I find this so funny.
I love it. When you think of the things that you've had with this team off the floor, right? Off the floor team chemistry, what are some of your favorite team bonding exercises that you've done with Middle Ridge?
I say warming up. Warming up before a game, we put music. We made our own playlist. Like we put music, and we just warm up together. I feel like that's a good way of bond. And then like Ram Jacks, I love the Ram Jacks.
Yeah, the Ramjacks get you guys so fired up before a game. I
Yeah,
love watching it, and you were kind of new to it, last
yeah.
year. What was it like to be exposed to this cultural thing in the volleyball program, and now you're in it too, and you're firing? What was that like to first be introduced to Ramjacks?
When I first came to Ridge, I saw them do Ram Jacks. I've never seen it before. And I was like, this is weird. Like, why are you doing this? But now I feel like I like Ram Jacks. I feel like it just hypes us up, and it's a routine that we can't just miss.
Let's talk about your family as well. I want to get to know you a little bit off the court. What makes your family so unique? I know you already said your uncle gives you really good advice. Talk about your family and what you think makes them unique from others.
So we're from Puerto Rico. So like, I don't, my family doesn't really get to watch me play like in person. So they always join YSN. And my aunt, she is always like watching YSN, and she screen records and she'll send me the video and she'll tell me what I did wrong and what I did good on that one right there. And then my grandma, she calls me like after the game and she's like, how you play, how you did. My grandpa, he always calls me too before the game shoot, and he'll be like, okay, it's time to go. You do your game. You know you're good. Just be better.
It's got to be tough being that far away from family and to not be able to have them in the gym all the time. Um, what's that like for you to be able to at least share those moments with them and like you said, get the phone calls before the game and to be able to still connect with your family down in Puerto Rico?
I mean, it's always sad that like they can't be on the game, and I see everybody's like family there, and like I don't see mine. But as soon as I see YSN walk in, I'm like, yes, my family's gonna watch me this time. So I feel like it's better. It's just yeah.
They're gonna see this interview. You got any special messages for your family?
Um, I'm I'm just so grateful for everybody. They've done so much for me, and like just joining and watching me play, it's just the best feeling ever. Thank you.
Let's talk about role models that you have. You're a role model yourself as a varsity player. There are a lot of people in this Middle Ridge program, whether it be in the middle school program or the JV players that want to be where you're at someday. But who are your role models? Who are people that you look to when you need that pick me up or you need that inspiration?
Um, I feel like definitely my aunt. I don't know if it's like that, but I feel like my aunt. She played in like college and all that stuff, so I'm always like, I want to be like my aunt. I want to be like my aunt. I want to be better than my aunt.
Better, I like that. I want to be better than you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your future too. You're a senior, so after high school, you graduate. What are some things that you see for yourself in the future?
Um, Definitely going to college. I mean, I'm not planning on playing in college, but like if I get the opportunity, I definitely will. Cause out of college, volleyball is not gonna like be something I can rely on. So I'm definitely gonna go to college. I don't know that where yet. But I'm gonna be going into the pharmacist. Um, yeah.
When you think of where, I know you haven't decided where yet, but do you want to be a little bit far away from Ohio? Do you want to explore the country? Do you want to travel? Do you want to stay close to this area? What kind of things come to mind when you think about places I might want to go?
I don't know. I've thought about like staying in Ohio. I thought about going away. I thought going back home, and I just haven't made a decision yet. Like they all are good options, and I just have to think through them like real hard because this depends my whole future. So I have to make the right decision.
The great thing about volleyball season is you still got plenty of time to make those future decisions. It's only fall, so you still have all the winter and all the spring. Shirley, before we let you go, I want to give you the time to thank everyone that supports you. I know you already gave a shout out to your family, but I'm sure there are other people that you want to give a shout out to. So I want to give you the time to kind of put the people that support you in the limelight and let you give them shout outs that you want to give.
Thank you. Obviously my coaches, Coach Lesko, Coach Mark, and Coach Wright. I've definitely improved so much thanks to you, so thank you for that one. My friends for always coming to my games, supporting me, showing up there, and my family that always join what I send to watch.
All right, Shirley's, we thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck this season and in this tournament run. We hope it goes as long as possible, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.
That was Shirley's Bonilla from Middle Ridge, the libero, the great, amazing libero that Middle Ridge has, one of the key members of their team and senior. And really, that interview kind of exemplifies what I think is the best thing about YSN. And the first mission we had, first and foremost, with all the broadcasts and all the stories we tell, get people that can't get to games a way to see the people they care about play. Period. There's a lot of other things that we like to do and a lot of other mission statements that we have and things that we like to do. But at the end of the day, it boils down to letting people who care about these kids watch them play if they can't get to the game themselves. I mean, when you get to the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And for Shirley's Bonilla, who has so much family in Puerto Rico, the fact that they're able to watch YSN and see her play as much as they do, that's what it's all about. That's why we're here. That's when I was doing that interview, I was like, yes, this is exactly why we do it. And then I obviously wish that we could have been at every single Middle Ridge game and covered them exclusively this for that family down in Puerto Rico. But we got to a lot of them, and their season continues. District championship game in Grand Valley on Saturday at 7 o'clock against top-seeded Mentor Lake Catholic. Middle Ridge has played that level of volleyball all season long. They played Smithville this year. They played Crestview. They played Lakeview. So they're not going to be intimidated, that's for sure. They're definitely going to have to play a very good game to beat Mineral Lake Catholic. But They know exactly what that level of volleyball looks like, so nothing is going to surprise them or shock them. So I think they have a better chance than most against a juggernaut Mineral Lake Catholic team. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have another player profile, this time someone that's gearing up for a district championship game tonight. We'll head up to Archbishop Hoban in Akron and hear from their offensive leader in Amber Watson in a pre-recorded interview when we get back on Running Point. As always, we are brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com or find us on Facebook.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you as always by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, and one of the ways we always do that is, of course, we highlight player profiles as much as possible. We already heard from Charlize Bonilla, their libero from Mineral Ridge, and now we're going to go from defense to offense. One of the offensive leaders down there in Akron and Archbishop Hoban, they're getting ready for a district championship game tonight against Avon, and their offensive leader is Amber Watson. I had a chance to catch up with her a little bit earlier on, and here is her interview on Running Point today. Anthony Hartwig here with a Archbishop Hoban volleyball player profile. I'm joined by Amber Watson. Amber, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, we got to get the first question out of the way. Hoban is one of two teams in the Ysn family to finish undefeated. You'll finish that off on Saturday with your sweep over CVCA. So how does it feel to go through a whole regular season unscathed and a perfect 21-0?
It's great. Going into the season, I expected a lot of great things from this team, but this really was something that I was really excited that we achieved.
I mean, yeah, let's start the start of the season. You know, you look around, you have one senior, a lot of young players, a lot of faces that are stepping into bigger roles this year. What was it about this team that immediately felt so confident and so strong that they hit the ground running as soon as the season started?
Yeah, going into the season, our team chemistry was really good. We had a lot of training over the summer where we learned to play together, learned to adjust to each other, and we're a relatively young team because we only have one senior, so that kind of helped a little bit, I think, going into the season.
With only one senior, it means a lot of leadership responsibility also falls on you as just one of the leaders of this team, senior or not. What does it feel like to not be a senior, but also be in that kind of role where you almost feel like one with all the leadership that you're asked to do?
I think it's great because, especially on the court, if we're kind of digging ourselves into a hole, I like to bring the team together and say, like, deep breath, it's okay, we got this, next point. So it's just something great that I think that we all share as all 5 juniors on the team, and then including the senior.
You haven't dug yourself into many holes this year, but
No.
there have been some matches that teams have pushed you, have taken sets from you. In those moments when this team is winning so much, how have you managed to come back from the small amount of adversity you guys have had to face?
Yeah, we had a couple tough matches this season. We went into 5 versus Twinsburg and Marlington. So those were 2 pretty tough matches that we kind of had to stay confident and focus on our side in, and I think we did a good job with that.
When you're sweeping so many teams and these scores are usually lopsided, when you get into those kind of games, is it hard at all to kind of switch it up and ramp up the energy into a 5-set match when you're not used to playing that many sets in a match this season?
It is a little difficult just because we're working on starting with the momentum, because sometimes you can see we come out and we are down in like the first set or 2, and we try to do our best to like come back and fight back in those matches, especially.
One of the reasons it's so hard to go undefeated is because when you're that dominant, you tend to get a little lackadaisical as a team, but not you guys. What has kept this team fired up and driven all season long?
Really, I think our goal of going to states really drove us to all the wins this season and to push forward. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's your next goal now. You have the undefeated season, check mark. That goal is complete. Now it's all about focusing on tournament time for you. What's it like shifting the focus now? Regular season is done. That 21-0 record is fun, but it's all out the window. Now everyone starts nothing. What's that like for you to change that mindset heading into tournaments?
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do, especially fine-tuning everything that we've worked on this season, especially in regular season play. So a lot more momentum going in, a lot of tougher practices, stuff like that we're able to focus on and achieve our goal.
So the practices are going to get tougher. Obviously, the pressure is going to get bigger. What ways do you think you personally are going to still try to keep it same as always? You know, if you put too much pressure on these tournament games, that's when they can catch up to you. So how do you keep it, same routine, same as always in these tournament games?
Really, I think that we need to focus on what we can do rather than what our opponent can. especially what we can do to control our offense, what we can control to do with our serve, receive, defense, etc.
You bring up your offense, and man, do you have a mighty arm swing as an outside hitter for this Hoban team. What is the one way that you think you've grown the most over the span of this season so far?
I think something that I really wanted to work on this in practice this year was my shot range, especially incorporating that for cut shot. That's something that I wanted to bring into the team, and I think that I did a good job executing.
What were some other personal goals? I mean, you said, I'm sure you said a bunch of them this year before the season started, things you wanted to accomplish. What were some things that were on that list?
Yeah, so this year I'm playing all around, so playing 6 rotations, and I wanted to do a better job with defense. That's something that coming in, I was like, all right, I need to focus on this and do what I can to do the best for my team. So I think that that's getting better every day, every practice.
When coach decides to let you do 6 rotations, that means obviously he trusts you with the utmost trust. It's the most trust you can put into a volleyball player. When he comes to you and says, "Hey Amber, we're gonna leave you in. We're gonna have you as a 6 rotation player," what's that do for your confidence?
I think it really boosted up because I know that I can continue to put a lot in for my team, offensively, defensively, and especially doing back row attacks. That's what I can do in the back row to help my team get some more points.
All right, let's talk about this on the court chemistry. You've brought it up a couple of times. This chemistry, this team is so tight knit. What kind of things do you do off the court to build that chemistry and build the bonds with your teammates?
Yeah, so last night we actually did some team bonding where we painted pumpkins together, did like a fun fall activity. So we like to do stuff outside of volleyball. And then in school, if you see a teammate in the hallway, we always say hi to one another. We're all really close outside of volleyball.
All right, it's a bigger school in Hope. And how much do you guys see each other during the school day? Are you spread out, or do you see each other quite a bit?
I see everyone quite a bit, so which is really nice. So
you also go to a school that puts a heavy significance on character and community outreach and being able to go out and help the community in ways that you can. For you, being able to do that for the community that supports you in turn, what's that do for you as not just as a player, but like as a person that's growing into yourself?
Yeah. So Hoping is really like one big family, and it's really special because like the women's sports are growing. So like contributing to this is like something that's so huge for me.
There is so much tradition at Hoban in the athletics room. I mean, you look around and you look at those state banners that are everywhere in the school. No matter what the sport you're talking about, they're everywhere. Like the standard of success in this athletics room is so big. What's it like being a part of that kind of tradition at Hoban?
Yeah, it's awesome. So our team, like the volleyball program, won states in 92 and 93, and my aunt was actually on that team. So it's really cool to see that. And I'm just hoping that we can get a banner up there too.
What's it like playing on the same volleyball team that your aunt won a state with, and now you have a legitimate chance to make a state tournament run? What's that been like for your family?
It's awesome. So my whole family, like pretty much everyone went to Hoban. My mom played volleyball at Hoban. My dad played baseball. So it's just really cool to walk the same hallways they did, play on the same court they did. And I just want to do the best I can so that we can put a banner up for 2023.
Having a father that's an athlete, a mom that's an athlete, what kind of help is that for you to always be able to go to either one of them, whether it be for like your mom can obviously give you like legitimate volleyball advice, but your dad can also just give you being an athlete advice. What's that like to have two sources to go to for anything that you need?
It's awesome because if I ever need any advice or I'm struggling with something, my mom and dad always help me to have the right mindset, have the right goals for it, and it's really helpful for me as an athlete.
Earlier, we talked about the adversity that this team has faced, not too much, but when they get in those matches this year. What about your personal adversity through your career? What do you think is the biggest form of adversity that you've had to face so far in your athletics career?
Well, when I was 14, I originally played middle, and then I got switched out to outside, which I was like a little like nervous about before because I hadn't really played pin before. But as I like started playing and working on transitioning, playing back row, like I ended up really liking it, and I'm so happy that I switched positions.
What were some things that were going through your mind the first time, someone came up to you and said, "Hey, we're going to move you from middle to outside"?
I was a little bit unsure, but I was like, all right, I got to trust my coaches on this one, and I'm so glad that I did.
For the non-volleyball experts that are watching this, just go through the differences real quick, like the generic broad differences from switching to a middle to an outside, because I don't think people really respect how big of a jump that is to go from a middle blocker to an outside hitter.
Yeah, playing middle is a lot of like intense, like running, you'd say. It's a lot like quicker because you can run like ones, twos, those are a lot faster. And then outside, it's still fast depending on what you run, but there's a lot more, I'd say, like transitioning because you have to go back further. And then also you play back row and serve receive, and middle doesn't really do that.
And you're all obviously getting a lot more opportunities to hit the ball because outsides get set more than middles in most offenses. Let's talk about the relationship with you and your setter. What a wonderful setter you have. What's that like to build the relationship with your setters and to be able to work with a rhythm and to be able to be a very smooth flowing offense?
Yeah, it's awesome. I have Sophia Day, the senior, for most of my rotations, and coming into the season, I was so excited to have her as like my setter just because I trust her so much to put the right ball out to me. I know that wherever the ball is passed, she's going to push it out, put me in the right location, and I trust that.
That's why when people say, "Oh, Hoban only has one senior," I put a big yeah, but because one of the seniors is really, really big in a setter. What's it been like just trying to gather and treasure this season that you have with Sophia Day, knowing that she's going to graduate next year and you're going to have to build a relationship with a new setter next year?
Yeah, it's so special because I look at this and I'm like, this is her season. It's for her. So I want to do whatever I can to contribute to that. And hopefully we can end it on a good note with that banner.
You obviously love volleyball. You have a high volleyball IQ, which means you spend a lot of time watching it, studying it, playing it. When did you fall in love with the sport? What's your volleyball love story?
So since my mom played, she played open, and then she went on to play at Malone University in Canton. So when I was younger, I tried all the sports like basketball, soccer, and I wasn't really that interested into it. So she was like, let's try volleyball. So I got put in some like little camps and clinics when I was 6 years old, and I just fell in love with it and kept playing.
What are some of your like first memories of like volleyball being a passion for you, or turning into a passion rather than just something that you do?
I think when I got older, I was taught how to like stand serve instead of underhand. I'm going to say 7 or 8 years old. And I got my first overhand serve over the net. And it was just a core memory for me because it was such an achievement. And I was like, I want to do more, keep pushing.
You have acquired a lot of skills since then, and you are able to do so much on the volleyball court. What do you think it was the hardest thing to grasp, or the hardest skill to kind of get mastered?
I want to say serve receive, just because serve receive is like one of the hardest skills. It's physical, just as mental as it is physical. So it takes a lot of reps. It takes a lot of patience to get it down.
All right, obviously lots of volleyball in your life, but you're more than a volleyball player. What kind of things interest you outside of the sport?
Yeah, I love being outside, spending time with my family. So we like to go on family hikes. So that's something that I like to do. And I like to hang out with my sister, who's a sophomore at Hoban as well.
All right, so family hikes. What's the best place that your family likes to go to and hike it up?
Probably Cuyahoga Valley National Park. That's a good one.
We live in Northeast Ohio, not a lot of hiking weather. So what kind of things do you guys do when it gets colder and you can't necessarily go for a nice hike anymore?
Yeah, my brother plays basketball, so we go to a lot of his games on the weekends and weekdays, and it's nice to support him.
Do you still like to be outside in the cold? Are you like a cold weather person, or do you lock it down inside when it starts to get cold outside?
I'm not really a big fan of the cold weather. I'm not a big snow person, so.
Outside of hiking, what's your favorite outdoor activity when you do get to be outside in the summertime?
Ooh, that's a good one. Me and my sister, well, we take walks around our neighborhood, but that kind of goes with hiking a little bit. But I don't know, just being outside is one of my favorite things.
Such an athletic family. A lot of backyard sports come to mind. What is the family backyard sport? Which one do you play the most?
Well, we actually have a volleyball net, so we sometimes set it up in the summer and we all play together. So yeah.
Obviously men's volleyball is a thing now, that which is say how much of how good of a volleyball player do you think your brother could be if he ever decided to pick that up?
I think he'd be pretty good. Yeah. He's
Did you
pretty
ever
good
Did you ever try to nudge him through it like last year when Hoban decided to get a volleyball team and volleyball became a OHSA sport? Did you ever get in his ear and be like, "Hey, why don't you go try out for the volleyball team?"
I tried, but he was like, "No, I want to play baseball." So.
Baseball.
Yep.
It's all good. You don't have to be in the elements in volleyball. Just saying. When you think of just things that make your family unique to you, or things that make your family special, whether it be traditions that you have, or things that are just your family, and you feel like it's something that makes your family unique from others, what things come to mind?
Sorry, you glitched out. Can you repeat the question?
Okay, so obviously we're talking about your family. So when you think about things that make your family unique and things that are just your family, you feel like no one else outside of your family has that about them, what kind of things come to mind?
Well, we spend a lot of time together, and my dad likes to designate Sundays are family activity days. So every Sunday we try and go do an activity, whether it's going to get something to eat or going hiking or going to a festival. It's just we always like to spend time together because the school year gets really crazy.
All right, Amber, before we let you go, I want to give you the time to just give a shout out to all the people in your life, probably your family. I'm guessing is going to get a lot of them, but I'm sure you have other people that support you as well. Whoever you think deserves a shout out at the end of this interview, I want to give you as much time as you want to give that to them.
Yeah, so first one is my sister Kaylee, who's a sophomore at Hoban. She's a huge part of my life, and she always gives me advice when it's needed, especially when I'm playing back row. I sometimes ask her for some advice, but she's always there for me, and I'm there for her in return. And then I want to give a shout out to our senior, Sophia Day. She's a great leadership role on our team, and she's going to help push us to the best that we can do this season. And then to my parents, because they are always there to support me in school, out of school, sports, whatever it is.
All right, Amber, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it on a Sunday. I hope we didn't get into your family activities too much. We appreciate your time. We thank you. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the season, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much.
Amber Watson from Archbishop Hoban as they gear up to play a district championship game tonight in Valley Forge. I don't know why that just completely went out of my brain for a second. Valley Forge High School in Parma Heights. Archbishop Hoban versus Avon tonight in the district championship. And I can't wait to see if the Knights can bring it up. They have an undefeated record. They got pushed to 5 in the district semis. They got through it. They survived. They advanced. Can they pull out a win here in the championship, get themselves in the regionals with a roster that just has one senior? And that is Sophia Day, obviously, their setter, who is a wonderful senior leader. And you love having a senior setter. But you got to think that team is thinking, get everything we can out of this season, and then, man, next season we're bringing back almost everything as well. So exciting times in Hoban. That's not the only district championship going on tonight. Let's go into the scoreboard back on ysnlive.com, brought to you and presented by Burnett Pool Spas and Hot Tubs. And let's pop into today's scoreboard and see what games are going on. Just 3 district championships tonight involving YSN teams. We have Wellsville taking on Canton Central Catholic. That one going down in Lisbon, Ohio at Lisbon High School. 7 o'clock is your start time. Archbishop Hoban taking on Avon at Valley Forge High School. 7 o'clock start time. And then round 3 in the Scarlet tier between McDonald and Western Reserve. 7 o'clock start time there. That one happening in Columbiana. On the girls soccer edition of District Championship night, we have Canfield taking on Streetsboro. We have Badger taking on Berlin Highland, Champion taking on Poland. That's an all YSN matchup, so we're guaranteed somebody in regionals there. And then guess what? Hoban, they got 2 district championships tonight because their girls soccer team is also playing in one, as they are going to Baymont to play in a district championship game. You'll have 2 district championships on the network tonight thanks to generous sponsorships from both communities. Wellsville will be on tonight. Gary Altizer will have the call from Lisbon. And that is thanks to a sponsor by Wellsville ELKS number 1040. So thanks to them for sponsoring that game and getting it up on the network. And then Canfield girls will also be on the network thanks to same sponsors that have been having them throughout the tournament run. Melissa Paget, DDS, Dr. Melissa Paget, DDS, the dentist in Canfield, giving them clearance to have another great district championship between Canfield and Streetsboro. Hopefully the Cardinals can continue their run, punch their ticket in the regional, and we'll see how far those Cardinals can go. Exciting times. And then tomorrow we go from district championships to round 1 of football playoffs on a Friday. We'll be back here tomorrow on Running Point. Not only are we going to recap the district championships that go on tonight, but we're also, of course, going to go over all the matchups on the playoff round 1 of football playoffs tomorrow on Running Point 1 to 2. Don't miss it. That'll do it for today's show, though. So I want to thank you all for tuning in to Running Point, as always, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet and